there are departments within the county that don't bring in any money, like the IT department, the computer guys.
Yeah.
They don't bring in any money. They serve other departments.
Right.
And so they say, well, where's our money going to come from? So what the commissioners say is, well, when money comes in to those who do pull
Bring
it
in
in,
money.
then they should share it with others. Well, here's the solution. The solution is, if you want to make absolutely sure that we're satisfied that the money's going to go to the proper, they'll never do this, but the money's going to go to the proper place. The way to do it is to say, all right, we're going to make an exception. You can see already that they're not going to do this. We're going to make an exception for law enforcement, for county patrols, because this levy, for example, goes down in flames, okay? Then the next day, well, so you want county patrols after all, huh? Like we haven't said this before. And so we're going to have one just for county patrols, and why? Every dollar, no, don't lie to us, okay, 90%, every dollar is going to go to county patrols. Here's the way to solve the problem, I think. So, I haven't mentioned this to you before, you tell me what you think about this. They say, for this one thing, there's not going to be any ISF funds. We're not going to share 10% with the chief financial officer and with her staff, and we're not going to share legal counsel.
Yeah.
We're not going to share 10% with the commissioner's salaries, please. We're not going to do travel from this. We're just going to make sure 100% of that money goes to nothing but those patrols. And the way to do that, but what happens if they need computer services? Then they pay for them. Instead of pulling the money out of the things we want to put our money into, and then putting it into a place where we would prefer our money not go, like travel, if the people in law enforcement need IT services, or they desperately need a commissioner to go to Washington, D.C. and do whatever, just a slight digression. I'm looking at a picture on the website from NACO. It's the National Association of Counties.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a picture they put up on their website. They were happy with it. They were, oh, look at the wonderful time we're having. And it's a half-naked girl. I'm not making this up. And she's all dressed in Spanglies or something, and you see a lot of her. And she's on a table, and she's dancing, and everyone's like, whoa, that looks great. And they're all drinking. Hey, wait a minute. Don't spend my money that could have gone to law enforcement on this. No more naked girls on tabletops. Okay, all right, I just had to say that. Had to get it off my chest and hers. Look, if they then say, well, we're going to make an exception because we're in such desperate problems with law enforcement, then on this one exception, then every time you need a service, you'll pay for it, but you only get what you need, and that way, they've said in the past, well, now wait a minute, what if those law enforcement guys, they need photocopies, why, they've got to pay? Yeah, well, if it's all going to turn right around and go back to law enforcement, why'd you take it out in the first place?
Well,
It can't all go back to the same people, or you wouldn't be taking it out. They take out 10%, and then they put it into these, well, wait a minute, if we don't drive up to Salem or fly up to Washington, D.C., why, there won't be any law enforcement. That's a big lie.
The thing too is it's a lot of money. The estimate for the jail and youth services and detention levy,
Yeah.
if you added up all the money for
That they predict is going to come in.
the assessor's estimate, it's $41 million.
41 million total for the two projects?
No, for the whole 5 years, just for that, and 10% is $4.1 million.
For commissioners' travel and salaries and that kind of stuff?
For the ISF fund, yeah. And it's the same thing for...
That's a nice trip.
Yeah, and for the
I don't want them
animal
going on these
shelter.
trips to begin with.
Yeah, for the animal shelter, for the 3 years, they're going to take in 1.6 million, and so 10% of that is 161,000, almost 162,000. So when you do the math, this is over $4.3 million of taxpayers' money that gets diverted elsewhere before 1 cent goes to the promised services. Wait a minute, for the promised services for the jail or the animal shelter.
Say the number again. How much money?
It's over $4.3 million that's going to go to the ISF fund.
Instead of going in for the dogs and the cats
Right.
and the
Right. So
$4 million?